I actually want to say the Bryce Mitchell Topuria fight.
Bro, future champ, dude. I was talking about it coming in. I was tweeting about it because there's a big backstory between Topuria and Paddy Pimblett. They've been going at it for a couple of years now because they're both out in Europe. Topuria is Spanish and from Georgia, and Paddy's from the UK. And them two have never crossed paths, but they're like, there's a lot of star power behind them, especially when you have that international market. And they were drawing back and forth, and Paddy was just sunning him on the mic because Topuria, he has a language barrier too, so there's always a little bit difficult. And Paddy was kind of just trolling him like, "What'd you say? I don't understand what you're saying," kind of thing, which what Conor was doing to Habib also. Yeah. But it's like, dude, Topuria is going to open up like a minus 450 favorite against you. He would maul Paddy.
But how does that work? Because they're in different weight classes, right?
Well, they are, but Topuria has fought at 155 also. Okay. And he just wants to fight Paddy. And I think the thing that happens with Paddy is a lot of people want to get to him before it's too late. Like, that's why
we want to cash out, man.
They want to cash out, man, because it's a big spot. It's a marquee fight, no matter where it is. Like we saw my guy Jared. Shouts to Jared, man. We got to address the elephant in the room, which was the decision.
Man, he got robbed, bro. That's it. He got robbed. It was a terrible decision.
I felt that way also. And then, because I think everyone that knows me, for the most part, I'm very honest with the assessments of my favorite teams. I've been coming on here every Monday, and the guys in the booth, especially Antoine, because he's a big football fan, he's heard me just laugh out loud at the Giants winning games. I'm like, yo, I don't know how they're 5-1. I don't know how they're 6-1. Holy shit, they're 7-1. They might be the 1 seed. And I'm laughing because I assess my teams very objectively. I think it's the sports bettor in me, where I kind of look at it from that perspective. Like Vegas and these sports books, they're not giving you layups for you to win money. They're trying to prevent you from winning money. And I think that's a fair way to understand what the expectations of your teams are. So with all that being said, I felt like Jared won that fight 30-27, at worst 29-28. It goes the distance. He gets booed when he comes out because it was a pro-Paddy crowd. But then at the end of the night, Paddy's getting booed.
Yeah.
Because Paddy's like, of course I won that fight. And it's like, dude.
It's crazy, right? Because like there was a lot of Paddy fans in attendance.
He got the biggest ovation of the night.
Facts.
Without question. Jared got booed when he came out. I was the only person outside of his family repping a Jared Gordon t-shirt.
No.
Because I had to. That's my guy. Shout out Queens. Shout out New York City. But at the end, and even like during the fight, dude, you heard guys behind us. They're like, way to get him a real fight, Dana. Because this is the first time that Paddy got tested.
Yeah.
He was being thrown kind of cans. And I get it from a marketing standpoint and you wanting to build up your fighters. I totally understand that. But he had a big opponent in Jared who was going to test him. And he did, and he beat him. And I'm happy that you mentioned that you felt like he got jobbed.
Right. So if I were to ask you, give me your percentage, right, out of the entire arena, how many, what percentage do you think the fans are Paddy fans?
Oh, dude, 97%.
Right. And then when they read the results, started booing, right?
Yeah.
There's no way, like, freaking, 4%, 3% of the fans can make that loud of a noise, right? It'll get drowned out by cheers, right? So that means Paddy fans were also booing too, because they kept it real. They're like, yo, I don't know, man. This guy, like, kind of lucked out.
It's the first time that I can remember, and it's so weird that it happened to someone that I know very, very well, that it happened against them. So that's why the conversation about being biased and the homerism comes into play. But, dude, all of social media, MMA journalists, MMA analysts, fans could be a little, for the most part, fans are not always right, but fighters,
yeah,
we're all like, bro, why are you celebrating? You got lucky, bro. Like you didn't win.
You know what's the crazy part? My brother texted me literally after the results were read, and he said, "Yo, I'm watching on TV, and it looks like Paddy lost, but how's the reaction, in the arena?" I was like, "Yo, he got robbed, man. Like he lucked out. He stole one." And, even people watching at home, they probably felt the same too. So it was a bad decision, man.
It was an awful decision, and I wonder if this is going to change like the landscape of the UFC, because they've always been critical of boxing in these questionable decisions. And Dana has been very outspoken, very brash. Like the level of I don't give a fuck from Dana is like on the Mount Rushmore of people. Like a lot of people say that they don't care, but deep down they do. When Dana says he don't care, I believe him. Like, yo, he really don't care. But he's going down this weird rabbit hole of becoming everything you despised about boxing and why you wanted to make your sport under one umbrella, the UFC, where I'm the matchmaker. Tony and Nick are supposed to fight. They're going to fight. It's not going to be Tony and Nick are going to dance around for 8 years and then you're going to get Pacquiao Mayweather 7 years after everybody wants it. Do you feel like the UFC might be going down that way? Because this obviously isn't the first time that it's been a questionable decision. People were mentioning the Jan and O'Malley fight, but at least there were a large percentage of people that said more damage, O'Malley. Like that was more respectable, where this one, I've still yet to see someone say Paddy beat Jared.
So when you say going down the boxing route, you mean it's getting rigged?
I don't like throwing that word around.
Okay, so then what do you mean by going down the boxing route?
I'm saying that there's an influence from the higher-ups, so I guess that would mean rigged. But I think there's an influence to where, because if you're going into this fight and the expectation is, yo, Paddy's going to finish Jared, or X fighter's going to finish Y fighter, then when it goes to the distance, and I'm sure the crowd plays a role in it. Every time Paddy would throw a punch, everyone's like, oh, so you're human, bro. You're going to react to that. Like, oh, maybe I missed something, but the crowd is being influenced by it.
Yeah, to be honest with you, I don't think it's going down the boxing route. AKA, I don't think it's rigged. I think Dana would never do anything like that because he's got too much on the line, right?
Right.
He's even mentioned about this betting thing that's going on, right? It's like, yo, it's not worth it. So I don't think he has anything to do with it. Obviously, if you leave it in the hands of the judges, that's why the card was going like the way it was, because everything was a finish. When you get to a decision, it's just like, all right, well, you're kind of screwing yourself.
Bro, isn't it crazy that the judges didn't need to do anything the whole night, and then when they had to do something, they ruined it?
Messed up both of them.
Like, crazy. You had the most effortless night of judging because everything was a tap out or a knockout, so you didn't need your scorecard. And then the 2 times that you had a scorecard, you have the most controversial decision that I can remember. And then you have the main event and then a tie, which everyone like bitches at soccer ending in a tie. Now you have the UFC championship, the 205 title, light heavyweight title, and then a tie. And the scoring on that was outrageous also. Jan Blachowicz came out and he just said, yo, he's the champ. Like, he deserves to be the champ. And he's the guy that just fought. That's why it was crazy to see the 2 perspectives of Paddy's like, yo, of course I won. What do you guys, and then you have Jan coming out and saying, man, I think I lost. I don't think I'm champ.
Yeah, man. It's just terrible decisions, man. I don't know what they were watching. They got better seats than us, right? We were further back.
Yeah.
They're up in the action. I'm like, yo, how do you not see what we see? Like, you got the best views.